back with more Once Upon a Time, and this is episode 22 of season 2, and the season finale. I'm very excited to see how they're going to wrap up this season. It's been kind of a crazy ride, because I feel like, you know, like the first 10 sort of episodes of the season, where we had everything with Mulan and Aurora, and the family kind of being separated, the Charming family, that felt like a completely different season to this one. So it has been kind of a roller coaster and a crazy ride at how much has kind of happened in this season. But yeah, I'm just very intrigued to see where they're going to go with this, how they're going to wrap up the season, set up season 3. Because it's always good to know that when you're watching a season finale, it's always, you know, good to know that there is more coming. It's not like the way Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was for the last few seasons, where you're watching the end of a season not knowing if it was going to be the next. Thankfully, it's a nice change that it's not, you know, we're not having that way this season, but that's a different show. It doesn't matter right now. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen. Last episode was really good. You know, the whole thing with Tamara and Greg got a bit exposed. We learned a bit more about what was going on with that, and got some closure on Greg's father, and they also have that trigger thing that could destroy Storybook, and they want that to be activated by their bosses and stuff. So still a bit of a mystery to that. I hope we get a few more answers about, but I'm excited about it. We've got some flashbacks with Bay, which I really loved, and the introduction of evil Peter Pan, I guess, and that tied into the whole backstory with Captain Hook, where Bay met him, so that was cool. And then in the current day, Neil got sucked into a portal, as you do. He's making a bad habit of that. And I'm fucking dreading Henry finding out about that, and Mr. Gold finding out about that. It's not gonna be pleasant. But I'm very excited to see how they're gonna finish off this season, because I feel like there's still so much to address. I don't know how much they're going to address now, how much they're going to save for season 3. But I'm hyped. I'm nervous. I'm excited. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
The boy belongs to him. The ones he kidnaps from the other world. I bet my rations on it. Indeed.
Ah.
But could we be so lucky?
A pirate killed my mother and tore apart my family.
Ooh.
What about your father?
He was in love with your mum, and he wants to kill your dad.
He's a coward.
What's your name, boy? It's a pirate's life for you.
Ah. I get it. Hi, son. Hi, Granny with a crossbow. Hi, Grandad. Don't you fucking dare. Gold, I swear to Jesus. If you impale my child on a rock.
I'm spending some time with my grandson instead.
Lol.
It's okay, we'll go talk to Henry.
Do you have to make me spending time with your son anytime soon?
He's gone.
Yeah, but I don't think he's dead. Oh.
We'll die. You'll die.
Yeah, I made my peace with her.
Oh. Cheery season finale so far.
We're willing to die for our cause. You willing to die for yours? Absolutely.
I hope they do die for their cause. Fuck. Regina can help out. Let's all team up.
So we're all gonna die.
No.
You were born here, so you live.
Oh, good. Okay.
But I'll be alone.
No, you'll have me.
So sorry, Henry. We're gonna
I'll get the paperwork sorted.
I don't want to lose anyone else. We have to work together.
From the
Yes.
mouths of babes, I'd say the last
Oh.
point.
Ooh.
For the last time we met.
You just know that I love you.
wholesome. That's the one thing I can always count on. I never once doubt whenever Regina says she loves Henry. Anything else, I'd be like, you shady bitch, but not that.
Then you won't mind if we search your ship.
Be my guest.
Be our guest.
He rips your shadow right from your body.
Oh.
Then when she had to transform August back to Pinocchio, she found the ingredient she needed. A hair from Pinocchio's head. Someone who returned to who he should be, someone who wasn't cursed. So
Clever.
Colin's help remind me who I was.
Oh yeah.
I want to return the favor.
Do it.
Don't let her die as Lacey.
Yeah.
You were born with the sea in your blood.
Thanks.
Well, we are 70% water.
He's the Dark One. He once was a man, but when I got drafted to the Ogre Wars,
Pretends
he
to be
wanted
shocked.
protect me.
He keeps finding a place in the world and then it gets ripped away from him. Or
Tell me how
ripped away from him. Just shoot him.
You mean these?
Oh, for fuck's sake. These two are pissing me off. Stab him. No, stab him. The other hand. Rugby tackle her. You fool. Shoot her. Oh, goodness.
I snagged one. Where are the rest? Who cares? All we need is one. Hey! Live to fight another day, mate.
I don't trust this.
It's going to require all the strength I have. You're not going with us, are you?
Oh.
I created this device. It's only fitting that it takes my life.
I mean,
What am I supposed to tell Henry?
it is partly your fault, but come
Tell
on.
him that in the end it wasn't too late for me to do the right thing.
Aw. This is noble, but
Everyone
you're not gonna die.
is the evil.
Oh! They have the Triffids in this shit. Did it work? Aww. It's actually been like half a season, isn't it?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to wake you up to die. But I needed you.
No.
You lost your son. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, these two.
You okay?
Oh, it's Grace, it's fine.
Okay, let's get going.
Tis but a scratch.
Where's my mom?
Oh, fuck.
Snow White and the Prince have always led us before, and we've always won.
Aw.
Who's willing to let them lead us again?
Thank you, Archie. This is what we should do.
And they all
I know
die.
we haven't had. I just don't want him to be alone. I don't want
Same.
him to grow up the way I did.
Oh.
You did that to Cora because you had to. I did it because it was easy. It was a mistake. There were other paths. Harder paths. And I wish I had taken them. So please.
Now she can.
Honey,
Honey.
let's take the hard path.
Who's Henry's father?
You.
Oh, and he has a connection to him. Oh, maybe he will help. I don't know if he'd like taken the bean out of the pouch or something.
The lost ones will take him anyway and kill you.
I'm the captain. I give the orders.
Yes,
Anyone
me.
who disobeys can walk the plank. I didn't kill your mother.
I banged her.
He tore her heart out and crushed it in front of me.
He
I've
ripped
spent
her
every
heart
moment
out.
since then. You could stay here under my protection.
I'd rather fend for myself than be with you.
Oh, shit.
I want
So many families that he lost.
pirate.
Yo ho ho. Oh, I like that he had genuine affection for him.
And now we're gonna be heroes.
Open a portal, throw this thing into
Just
a
for
void.
one day.
No. It's empty.
I knew he took the bean.
I can change, Bay. For you.
You say that.
Oh,
I know you'll never change.
that's what his father used to
All
say.
you care about is yourself.
Oh, the parallels.
You have the boy.
Oh, look who it is.
He will be pleased.
Rip.
Mom. Dad.
Aww. Oh, that hit me in the heart. Oh, fuck.
You may not be strong enough.
Both of them?
We are.
Because she used magic before, didn't she? Maybe she can do it. Oh, I love them working together. Be best friends forever. Thanks for your help.
Gotta hand it to Henry. He's right about a lot of things.
Yes, he is. Isn't that right, kid? Henry?
Where the fuck is my son? No.
Henry?
What happened?
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Just never mind. Well, you guys are
Fucking
both-
bastards. Oh, I hope you both die.
Something that changed everything. You.
I mean, he is the best kid ever, but I don't see your point. We came here to destroy magic. We're so good. No! Where's it to? Disneyland? Maybe that's where Neil's gone, so Neil can save him. Because I don't think Neil's dead.
I'll offer my ship, my services to help follow them.
Well, that's great, Hope, but how will we track them?
Leave that to me. I can get us where we need to go.
Hey!
The boy is my undying, but he's also my grandson. I must save him.
Aww.
Bellfire would be very proud of you.
Damn. Feels. Whew. See, I knew he wasn't dead.
Baby, we have to get help.
Oh!
Where did they take Henry?
Neverland.
Put him with the rest.
Rip. I'm never going to get over that line.
Peter Pan never fails.
Oh. Oh. Fuck. Peter Pan's big bad next season? So Greg and Tamara are working for Peter Pan? But they were talking about like offices and shit, weren't they? I don't know what's happening, but I'm excited. Okay, so that was season 2 of Once Upon a Time. Crazy that we're done. I am very excited to get into season 3 though, because I've had a lot of love for season 3 in the comments of my videos. A lot of people seem to have it as their favourite season, so I'm very, very excited to check it out. And with that setup, I'm very, very excited for it. Because I have mentioned before, I love like the Peter Pan kind of world and characters, and I kind of like the Once Upon a Time interpretation of it that I've seen so far. And the fact that potentially Peter Pan could be like a big bad, or at least like a major villain next season, gets me very, very excited, because I'd like to see an evil version of that character. So that could be very, very interesting. I'm excited about that. I thought they set up season 3 very, very well. I think they made it very clear like what could happen with this season. So we had that whole group together sailing away on their adventures. We had Neil on a beach, and I really like that they brought back Philip, Aurora, and Mulan for that very brief little bit there. So I'm assuming they're going to pop up again next season. So it was cool that they kind of brought them back. We haven't really seen them, I think, since the first half of the season. So that was cool. Ties it back to episode 1, because like the backstory in episode 1 was the Philip and Aurora stuff, wasn't it, and Mulan stuff. So I liked that a lot. And then obviously now Greg and Tamara have taken Henry to Neverland, which I wasn't expecting. Probably should have guessed because of like the nature of the flashbacks over the past 2 episodes. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited to learn a bit more about Neverland and the people that work at, that are at work there, and see more of, hopefully, Peter Pan. I wonder if Tinkerbell's going to be in the show. I don't know how they do that. I suppose they've had like blue fairies and stuff. But if Peter Pan's evil, are they going to have Tinkerbell, or I don't even know if they need that. But I'm excited to find out nonetheless. So yeah, I thought, I know I'm just skipping to the end of the episode, but I thought the way they set up season 3 was done very, very well. I'm very, very excited to see where they go with that. I think that could be quite exciting. So that was great. I liked the flashbacks we were getting with Hook and Bellfire, seeing that the connection between that, and how Bade kind of found yet another kind of potential family for him. Again, it didn't work out. So that's cool. Seeing all that and see a different side to Hook as well, and he seemed to have this genuine care for his like biggest enemy's son, which I thought was actually a really nice thing to see, and I love seeing that kind of fatherly side to him. I think a lot of that did spurn from the fact that, as he told Bay, his own father just up and left him. So I imagine he wouldn't want to, I don't think he could just walk past another boy in need, which is why I think he took in Bay a bit and saw him as almost like a son, and maybe why he's quite willing to help Henry as well, because he only went back to save the town, but it was already saved, but he still agreed to like help them get Henry. So that's really cool. When Henry was like the kid that Pan's been after all this time, it seems, so there's a kind of a long game there. I wonder exactly what he wants Henry for. That could be very interesting to find out, so I'm looking forward to all of that. I mean, I know Henry's a special kid. He's my son. But why does Pan want him? Peter Pan? I'm intrigued. But yeah, I loved all the backstory we're getting. That was really cool. A big thing this season has been the whole thing with, the rivalry between Hook and Rumpel. So I like that kind of was addressed again in the finale. And he almost kind of made amends, at least for now. So I'm excited about where they could take that relationship to. I also liked Gold's journey. I mean, he was outright going to murder Henry in that first scene, until the guy showed up to tell him that Neil was dead. I knew he wasn't dead, but still, it's cool to get confirmation. But I like that, by the end of the episode, he brought Belle back, which I really liked that they kind of resolved that. I actually thought the explanation for how they've solved that problem was very clever with the whole thing using Pinocchio's hair. I thought that was a very clever kind of solution. Very okay, we found out the solution. It was very sudden, like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. But I'm not mad about it because the solution I thought was actually very clever. But I liked that God got Belle back, had that moment with her, which was great and quite emotional. But then said, even if the prophecy says this boy's going to be my downfall, at the end of the day, what's more important is he's my grandson. And I love that, because this whole kind of the charming family tree, if you will, which includes like Regina and Gold, I feel, there's such a kind of a deep root there in their family and the love they have for each other. I think will always take precedent over any other issues they have. And it seems that kind of mindset is affecting Gold as well. I think Regina's always had that mindset because everything she's done, no matter how evil, has been for Henry. So I really like that. I like that Gold has gone to save Henry and save his grandson, even if it does mean his downfall. I don't think it will. I imagine it's kind of a different thing to the whole prophecy, but I'm excited nonetheless. So I loved that kind of character arc with him. And that scene when Gold found out about Neil. Whew, Robert Carlyle is great. So that was cool. I like the interplay between Emma and Regina. I really like how far Regina's come because she was willing to make that big sacrifice to save everyone. I know a lot of it was just for Henry because she didn't want him to be alone, and I like that Emma wanted the same for him. But I did really like that Regina was willing to make that sacrifice and save everyone, even at the cost of herself, because she felt like she needed to repent for her actions. And I like that Mary Margaret was also very keen to save Regina because of what happened with Cora, so that was cool that they kind of went back to that story. And then I also absolutely adored the scene where Emma uses magic as well to help out Regina and stop the town being destroyed. I thought that was really cool and very well foreshadowed in the previous episodes. I think it might have been the episode Cora died in, actually. Was the one where Emma used her magic for the first time. Gold kind of taught her what to do. So I really like how that came back into play. And as soon as Emma had that idea and thought of that, I remembered that as well. So I thought, they hadn't been too subtle in the setup there, with Emma having magic, but I don't think they were ramming it down our throats and that was going to be important. So I thought they got the balance of that very well. And it was kind of a cool surprise to see that, but I liked how they kind of worked together to save the day at the end. That was really cool. Mothers Unite. Greg and Tamara. I thought we'd be done with them by the end of the season. I thought they were going to get stopped to this episode, that'd be it. But it seems like they're going to be in next season. Don't know how I feel about that, because I found the mystery of them very interesting, and when we got the answers I was like, okay, that's very interesting. But they didn't really have a big role in this episode as much as I thought they would. They kind of disappeared for a lot of it and then just kidnapped Henry. So I'm kind of keen to find out about that whole home office kind of thing with them. So there are still some unanswered questions. But if I'm being completely honest, they're starting to get on my nerves a bit. So we'll see what happens, but I'm interested in like the answers and stuff we were getting, and I like that Hook turned their back on them very, very quickly, as Hook does. So yeah, that's them. And I also like how so many seeds have been planted, or should I say, many beans have been planted throughout the season, about some of the characters potentially wanting to leave Storybook anyway and go back to the Enchanted Forest. And there's kind of this debate going on about, should anyone go? Should just Regina go? Should, everyone just stay in Storybook? And that's kind of been a debate so many different characters have been having for a lot of this season. And I like that they were in a position in this finale where they're kind of at one point forced to go back to the Enchanted Forest, well, everyone was, just to survive, because Storybook was going to be destroyed. So I thought that was kind of an interesting way of exploring that story. And obviously they ultimately didn't need to go back to the Enchanted Forest, but I thought that could have been an interesting thing. So yeah, I like how this episode did address a lot of like the long-running story threads in this season. I don't know if it tied them all up particularly well, but I think there's time to readjust that if we need to. But I'm glad they at least kind of showed off almost like a greatest hits of the story arcs so far this season. So I thought that was kind of cool. I really like the scene with, I think his name's Leroy, isn't it? Grumpy. Anyway. When he gave Gold the thing to help turn Belle back into herself. I liked that callback to his episode in season 1 where Belle helped him out. I thought that was just a really nice little moment. I like that they don't forget little character interactions like that I think a lot of people would just kind of forget that those two interacted at some point, because there's so many characters in this show, and so many of them have interacted very briefly with others, and it's like, how do you keep track of it all? But I think the writers do a very good job of keeping track and reminding us every now and again. So I thought that was done very well. Loved Belle coming back. Obviously Neil's still alive, so I liked that. And I am excited at the prospect of Peter Pan potentially being a villain next season. Obviously this story with him is far from over because they're on their way to Neverland. Peter Pan clearly seems to want Henry for some reason, and Greg and Tamara are still out and about somewhere, so how that all quite connects and fits in I'm not sure yet. It seems like Greg and Tamara were working for Peter Pan, but maybe I'm wrong with that. I don't really know how that connects yet, but I'm sure we'll get some answers either way next season, so I am excited about that. But I do think my favourite thing probably about this finale was the setup for season 3. I thought that was done very, very well. And there were a lot of kind of emotional moments as well. I didn't get as emotional for this as I thought I would actually. I think season 1 was kind of a more emotional finale. It doesn't necessarily mean it's better. I think this was a very solid and strong finale. And I did really enjoy the moment where Emma called David and Mary Margaret Mum and Dad. That was very emotional. That whole kind of sequence was very emotional. As was Belle and Rumple's kind of goodbye. It's crazy that character, literally called the Dark One, can often provide the most emotional moments in the show for me. I think that a lot of that is down to Robert Carlyle's performance. But But also, we can't forget the MVP of this episode. Rip. That guy. I don't know if it was in the script. I don't know if the director wanted him to deliver the line that way. I don't know if it was just the actor's choice. I will never forget that line until the day I die. It will haunt my dreams forever. I'd imagine it probably doesn't bother most people as much as that bothered me. That really took me out of the moment and kind of killed the vibe for me. I just thought it was a bit ridiculous. But if I'm nitpicking one word in an episode, it kind of shows the strength of this finale. But yeah, overall, I think it was a very, very solid finale and a good way of wrapping up the season. I like that it addressed so many of the stories throughout the season, like the potential people leaving Storybrooke, bringing Mulan and everyone back into it for a bit, having Neil there, Belle coming back, Prophecy, Hook, and, you know, the ongoing thing with Regina and the Charmings and Regina and Emma, that all came back in a big way, Greg and Tamara. They tied so many of the themes together in a brilliant way and set up season 3 in a very interesting way as well. And yeah, that's season 2. That's kind of nuts that we're done. 2 down, 5 to go. That is insane. I mean, you know, we're not even halfway through the journey yet. We're not going to be for a while. Who knows how much longer Once Upon a Time is going to be going for on the channel. Probably at least another year, for sure. I mean, it's taken me over a year to finish 2 seasons, but, you know, I've been at uni a lot over the past year, and uni's done now, so I'll be getting through these a lot quicker. But I imagine, you know, Once Upon a Time is going to be sticking around for quite a bit on the channel, so I'm very excited about that, because I can't wait to see what's going to happen, and I'm very, very excited for season 3, because I think that's a point where most shows really do find their groove, and like I said before, lots of people have been saying season 3 is their favourite, so I'm excited to explore that and see what's going to happen. But yeah, that's season 2. Really, really great season. I've really enjoyed it. I don't really want to rank it, but I feel like people are going to ask the question, do I prefer season 1 or 2? I don't know, there's things I like and dislike about both. I mean, both seasons were great. I really enjoyed both of the seasons so far, and I really love this show. It's kind of a hard one, because I think it really is, more than most shows, like a personal thing, because there's so many characters, there's so many stories. I think I preferred the story of season 1. I think that story was stronger and better realised. But I think the quality of the episodes and the individual stories of the episodes were better in season 2. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Obviously that could change. So I don't know if I could say I prefer one or the other right now. Because I think there were quite a few episodes in season 1 I was like, yeah, they are okay episodes. But I can't really remember there being many of those in season 2, at least not in the second half of the season. I thought the second half of the season was particularly very, very strong. But yeah, we don't really need to rank the seasons, I don't think. Or at least not when I've only watched 2. Yeah, and that's probably something I would do when I finish the show, and that's 5 seasons away yet. We literally have like over 100 episodes still to go yet. And then some. Like 100, must be like 110 episodes left or something now. If every season has 22 episodes, and I think it does. Plus the spin-off, but I'm not going to be reacting to the spin-off. I've kind of decided that, because a lot of people said don't bother. So I won't. But yeah, that was season 2. Really great season and a really great finale, and I can't wait to see where we're going to go from here. It should be very, very exciting. I'm so excited to start season 3. And that will be very, very soon as well. So thank you to everyone who's supported Once Upon a Time reaction so far and supported my season 2 reactions. Whether you've been here since I uploaded the pilot reaction over a year ago, or if you just joined season 2, however long you've been here, thank you for all your support on these reactions. There's a lot of passionate fans out there that I really appreciate. Thank you for putting up with my love for Henry. My son, I hope he's okay. Oh, actually, I saw. It was on my YouTube recommended. I didn't watch it, obviously, but it was like a panel from like a Comic-Con or something from like, I don't know, a week or so ago. Fuck me, Henry, the guy who plays Henry, he looks like Mr. Gold, and I can't get over it. Like, the casting in this show is. Ooh. Anyway, that was a completely irrelevant point. But yeah, thank you for all your support and the reactions so far. Plenty more to come, and I hope you're excited for season 3, because I certainly fucking am. So yeah, until my reaction to the season 3 premiere, thanks for watching.